Hello everyone, myself Madhuri, Associate Professor, Department of Law, SPMVV. Today we are going to discuss about nature and definition of contracts. Contract is a simple definition, a promise enforceable by law, a promise made to do or not to do, refrained from doing something. The making of a contract requires mutual assent of two parties or two persons, one of them ordinarily making an offer and another accepting. In one of the parties fails to keep promise, other is entitled to the legal redress, and at the same time the law of contracts considers such questions as when the contracts exist, what it means when the contract has been broken, or what kind of compensation to the injured party. If you want to see the history development, contract law is a product of business civilization. It will not be found in any significant degree under non-commercial societies. Most prominent societies have their enforcement and the commitment of an individuals. For example, you can say the kingships and at the same time authorities of the religions and economic based on the barters, and at the same time most transactions self-enforcements transactions can be taken according to that. So property laws with its penalties for taking or spoiling of a particular property is another rather than contract law. So in early things we have credit transactions and kingship ties the particular debts, and at the same time tribes a community which gave hostage until the debt was paid. So we also have the debt slaveries. Some credit arrangements were essentially self-enforcements and the livestock, and at the same time entrusted to the caretakers who receives for their services, and at the same time fixed percentage of the particular offsprings. Essential of a particular elements we can say is the contractual offer, acceptance, consideration, legality, capacity and mutuality. And several essentials what we can say for the consideration of a valid contract will comes under identification, offer, acceptance, consideration, meeting of minds and competence and the capacity and contract legality. And document should be and will be in a writing, electronic or in a paper. So classification, if you want to see, we can say validity of a particular classification, void contract, void, illegal contracts, unenforceabilities. When you are making a particular contract formation, you need express, implied, quasi and tacit. Performing, you need to have executed contract, executory, unilateral and bilateral. Based on the particular mode of its formation, particular negotiation and at the same time functions also can be taken. Express contract, implied contract, quasi contracts and e-contracts. E-contract stands on the particular electronic media like websites and email. Implied contracts also comes under section 9 of Indian contract. Any promise or an acceptance which is made otherwise will be known as an implied contract. Express is nothing but a particular terminology between two persons agreed by one, and they'll be coming for the formation of this express contract. Based on validity, legal validity is must for facing a particular contract. It should be a valid contract, and section 10 also clearly gives you a particular picture of valid. Void contract is nothing but any agreement which has been enforceable by law can be determined as a void. Voidable contracts comes under the law of an option, one or more parties to the contract but not the option otherwise voidable. Illegal contract is nothing but which is forbidden by the law. Enforceability is nothing but not enforceable by the law, will be known as an enforceability. Based on the performances also will be having executive contract which comes under respective obligations, responsibilities, and executive contracts will be comes under contract have to be performed their own obligations, that means responsibilities. Unilateral contract is one side of the particular contract which comes under one party has to fulfill all his respective obligations. Bilateral also comes under both the parties committees which has to becomes according to the respective promises and obligations has to be given like this. And this is another factor what we can see is the cyber contracts. These e-contracts are always referred as the cyber contract or the digital contracts or an online contracts. They're all essential digital agreements between user and service providers. They outline the rights and obligations of both the parties when engaging the digital product of a particular service. So finally, I can say contracts are significant for facilitating healthy relationship between individual and formalizing setting. They help in making relationship more formally and at the same time helping resolving the issues and resolving problems. Thank you.